Well, I guess you want me to start it, huh? Is that how we're doing it today on Thursday? All right. I guess I'll start it, considering you always make me start it. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? It's Thursday. We are almost through this week. The sun is shining. The weather is sweet. And Squeeze and I are here to move your dancing feet. Good morning. My name is Adam Handler. I am your case handler. We are Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. And if you are listening right now on 93.5 FM, I thank you so much. If you're watching right now on Facebook Live, I thank you so much. The good news for you is that you are now currently cruising with the case handler show by attorneys for you to let you know who we are, what we do, and how we do it. Again, my name is Adam Handler. I am your case handler. I'm a partner of Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico, a full-service law firm here in Manhattan. I head up the personal injury department. I personally have been responsible for obtaining over $130 million for my clients. The question is, do you know good lawyers? Do you trust good lawyers? Do you have somebody that you can count on if, God forbid, you or a family member are ever in need of legal representation? Hopefully you do, and hopefully you consider our firm. And if you don't, hopefully you'll consider our firm in the future. Good morning, Squeeze. Good morning, Alan. Good morning, Conrad. How's everybody doing today?
Very good.
I'm doing mighty fine today. Hopefully everyone else is doing mighty fine. I am David Squeeze Annakie. It's good to be here. Thank you so much for initiating the show, commencing the show, Mr. Case Handler, Mr. Adam Handler. Your name gets around a lot, by the way, man. I was just speaking with
is that a compliment? Because the truth is, Squeeze, I don't, other than Conrad, I don't know anybody else money. So I hope my name is not getting around that way.
There you go. But your name gets around in a very good way, man. So I must say that, So,
I appreciate that.
All right. With that said, good morning, Conrad. Good morning, Alan, EK. How you guys doing?
Good, thank you. How are you?
All good. We have a lot of news to talk about today. I don't want to steal your thunder, Alan, but big news last night with our new administration. They ended the ban on immigrant visas. So that nasty proclamation that the previous administration, the previous president, who will go unnamed, he issued this nasty proclamation last April and then again in June, and basically saying immigrants stay out, even if you've applied for your green card, even if you're doing it legally, the right way, coming the right way. You always hear that. Even the people that were coming the right way were banned because of the pandemic, allegedly, although that wasn't the real reason. Anyway, old news. As of last night, Biden lifted it. He could have. And by the way, I've been saying all along how the Biden administration has, to me, it's been very impressive what they've been doing with immigration, because they've been making bold moves. Most administrations come in and walk very carefully and gingerly. The Obama administration, when they first came in, they had the House, they had the Senate, they had the presidency, and Obama did nothing really in his first term to help the immigrants to push immigration legislation. The Biden administration has come at it full steam ahead, almost like a bull in a china closet. And this is an example. He could have let the ban lapse by itself on March 31st, but he actually took a step and showed some cojones and lifted it. Alan, you want to talk about it?
Sure.
He showed some muscle. Go ahead, Alan. By the way, folks, before you continue in 15 seconds, Alan, if you're just joining us, 93.5 FM listeners, we thank you. Thank you. Turn up your radio. Solid immigration news, okay, brought to you by the firm Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. That's Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico, PPID. All right. You just heard from the managing partner, Conrad Pollack. Before that, you heard from another partner, Adam Handler, who runs the personal injury department, separate from the immigration department. Conrad is excited about immigration news, too. So Alan EK, who happens to be the general because of his depth, his experience, his knowledge in immigration law, in my opinion, better than any other immigration attorney out there because of his tenure. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have him continue with this great news, and then we're going to jump right into questions. So I'm giving you 4.5 minutes, Alan.
Okay, very good. I'll do go fast. Conrad mentioned that the immigrant visa ban that was put in by the previous president has been lifted. And President Biden says that that previous ban harmed the United States citizens, permanent residents from joining their families. It harmed industries in the United States that utilized talent from abroad. It harmed individuals who were able to apply for the visa lottery. So it was just out, very, very bad, and it's out now. And the State Department has now picked that up. And so the State Department has given out instructions that if you haven't yet been interviewed for an immigrant visa, because of that immigrant visa ban, which is no longer, they're going to start to call people in now. If you were previously refused by American consul overseas because of the ban, that ban is out, and they will start to call people back in and reconsider cases that were previously refused because of that immigrant visa ban. So very good news, and that just happened yesterday, and everybody's very happy about it. Now, also, we mentioned previously that USCIS is going back to the 2008 version of the naturalization civics test. And what they had done was the version they just put in recently was bad, and it was designed really to discourage people from becoming citizens. So if you filed an application for naturalization on or after December 2020 and before March 1st, 2021, you'll have a choice of taking the earlier test, which you would want to do, or not the test that was put in by the previous president, whose name we will not mention. The 2020 test is going to be phased out, and you'll be able to take the earlier test, which is much easier, and the earlier test is very favorable, and the newer test that the ex-president put in was designed to discourage people. Now, we mentioned on our last program, or recently, that Joe Biden's administrative orders have required to remove the term alien and remove the term illegal alien, and now use terms non-citizen. And because his theory was that alien and illegal alien are dehumanizing, and so from now on, the government is going to use the term non-citizen and no more use the term alien and illegal alien. Okay, now the Immigration Act of 2021 has been introduced into the House and the Senate, and they're right now marking it up in both the House and the Senate. The Immigration Act of 2021 is 353 pages. I have this big chunk here. I also have a 66-page summary, and it has a lot of very nice things in there which will help people. And basically, the 11 million illegal aliens, a lot of them will qualify. And under the new Immigration Act of 2021, you first become a lawful prospective immigrant if you meet certain requirements. And then after 6 years, you can go on to try to become a permanent resident and a U.S. citizen. Now, is that Citizenship Act of 2021 going to pass? Well, they need 60 votes in the Senate to make it pass. It may not pass, but then again, little pieces of it will probably, if it doesn't pass, pieces of it will go in. So, for example, there's a DREAM Act, which is pending. The DREAM Act, which will legalize people who are DACA people, DREAM Act people. That is in the Citizenship Act bill, but there's also a special bill that was put in by a prominent Republican and a prominent Democrat, which that special bill would legalize people. So you've got 2 different or 3 different ways of doing it. Either it's in the Immigration Act of 2021, it's in a special bill, which is called the DREAM Act of 2021. So hopefully something will happen to help, because there's a case going in Texas which would abolish DACA, and President Biden had put in an executive order also already, which is designed to protect and fortify DACA people. So there are a lot of protections coming up for DACA people. Either it's in the Immigration Act of 2021, it's in the DREAM Act of 2021, and it's the President Biden's executive order, which calls for the administration to protect and fortify people. Now, 70 or 80% of the American public would like to resolve the issue of the fact that there are 11 million unauthorized people here in the United States. And most American citizens, 70 or 80%, would like that to be fixed. 11 million people, that's the size of the unauthorized population. And there are only 500 immigration judges. And so, and 1.3 million case backlog. So it would take them forever to try to legalize or deport all these 11 million people. It's a huge backlog in removal proceedings. 1.3 million cases are pending in removal proceedings, only 500 immigration judges. Figure out how long that's going to take you. Right now, they're up to sometime in December or November, or in terms of where they're going, they're trying to process immigration cases. So at the rate that's going on now with 1.3 million deportation and removal cases backlog and only 500 immigration judges, will take the years and years and years to decide that. So I think that the Biden administration is going to take some steps to try to help.
Great. Good stuff, Alan E.K. Once again, folks, you can always count on Alan E.K. Esquire to give you the news update on immigration weekly right here. But more importantly, remember, get yourselves added to the newsletter for the firm Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. Once again, fully endorsed by yours truly, David Squeeze Annakie, and many others out there. They've been around for 60 solid years, built on immigration. This man, Conrad Pollack, his father got it all started. And here we are today with a separate department, the personal injury department, and multiple departments within the firm. I say to every one of you, store this number, dial this number, 844-774-3529. That's 844-PPID-LAW. That's 844-774-3529. Email news@ppid.com to get into the database to get your updates. Click on the link that's on Facebook. Of course, definitely, ladies and gentlemen, get yourself into the database and get more on what's happening with immigration and personal injury. Before we get to a question, Adam Handler, who are you? What are you? And what do you do at the firm before I get to immigration questions and then come back to you with a testimony?
What do I do at the firm? I kick ass. That's what I do. God, you should know that. These are layup questions for you this morning. No, with all seriousness, as a person,
Adam brings legitimacy to PPID. Prior to Adam joining the firm 6 years ago, which, by the way, our 6-year anniversary was a week or two ago. Adam, I mean, we were a firm wandering in the legal wilderness, and Adam joined us, and Adam brought legitimacy to the firm. Yes. And Adam was like a bright, shining light that when you're wandering in the desert at night and you see that far off light in the distance, the salvation to that oasis. Adam is like that shining light in the desert that we followed to become the firm that we are today.
Yes, the legal Moses of PPID. I get it, but but all kidding aside, my birthday is on Christmas, so maybe I am the Messiah of the personal injury world. Who knows? But thank you, Conrad, for that. Oh my God,
my sentiments, Adam. They're always heartfelt.
Yes, I feel the love across the Wi-Fi connection. Thank you, Conrad. But ladies and gentlemen,
felt the love with the money that you have settled for them. Also, by the way, of the firm and more.
Listen, it's always everything's funny when you're making money, right, Squeeze? And that's certainly what we do. That's certainly what we do for our clients. Very simply put, my job is to get you and your family compensated when, God forbid, disaster strikes, when that unexpected accident happens, whether it's a car accident, workplace accident, construction accident, slip or trip and fall accident. There's so many ways to die, as the expression says, as the expression goes, and certainly bad things happen to good people. And I'm there to help you and your family pick up the pieces. There's lots of choices out there, personal injury lawyers, but if you're listening to this show on 93.5 FM right now, or if you're streaming live on Facebook or Instagram, you know the real deal. You know who your case handler is, and I am so very grateful for it.
Yes, okay. I'll add my mute button on there for a minute. All right. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the show is called Cruisin with a Case Handler. The case handler is Adam handler himself, and of course, Mr. Conrad Pollack taking jabs out of him. And the show is about personal injury and immigration. Powerful attorneys, make no mistake. And that's the reason why I want every one of you listening to have that number. 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Make that call, ladies and gentlemen, and we will definitely take care of you. I got a question here.
Well, before you get to questions, you just mentioned about some elements of our history a little while ago, and talking about history, it'll be in a couple of weeks, I believe, about 3 weeks. It'll be a 1-year anniversary since we started doing this radio show. Adam has been doing it, and you and Adam have been doing this for years for personal injury only. But when the pandemic hit late last March, which it's hard to believe it's almost a year, but that's when we all decided to add immigration to the daily show, and we've been doing it almost for a year now. Yep. on a weekday daily basis, and it's been a very fun and fulfilling aspect of all of our lives since then, and it's been great doing it, and we're obviously going to continue. But one thing I want to note how things have changed. If you remember a year ago, March, April, May, every day Trump did. I mentioned that name, Voldemort.
You said you weren't going to do it.
I know. I slipped. The previous administration, every day, it was something new. There was a new evil deed every day.
Those evil things that came out during 2 years.
Every day was some apocalyptic news, and it was usually on a Friday night that the worst. They would save the worst for Friday night when there was no news coverage, and we'd come on a Monday morning, and it's all gloom and doom. And it's like, if you're an immigrant, you might as well just go back to your country now, because you're never going to get your green card, and they're going to make life here as miserable for you as possible. Well, fast forward to almost a year, and here we are, and we have a new administration. There is certainly, I want to say light at the end of the tunnel. We're at pretty much the end of that tunnel, and the light is shining bright. And that welcome mat has been put out in front of the front door of the United States again, welcoming immigrants, recognizing them for the various contributions they make, stopping with the nonsense about they're all rapists and criminals and they're the worst that the country is sending to us, and that the country is full and all of that crap. Now, again, the latest, how Biden last night lifted the immigrant ban, and the good news just keeps coming. So it's nice to see after a year of darkness how the light is spreading. It's a nice thing, and I'm not just saying that to everybody. I feel it myself. I've been doing this for 36 years, and my dad was doing it for 20 before me. And I grew up and lived the immigration lawyer experience, and so it's really a wonderful thing to see how sometimes what they say, it's always darkest before the dawn.
Yeah,
clearly. Alan, I have a question for you though. The ban that he lifted last night, there were 2 proclamations that the previous guy did, that he issued. Are both of them lifted, or is it just the one?
Just the one. He hasn't
Which
lifted.
one?
The immigrant visa ban has been lifted. The non-immigrant visa ban, not yet.
All right, that's coming.
Yes.
That's coming. Yep. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff.
Great stuff. And Conrad, I don't want you to not know that the Caribbean community, primarily, every community, but the Caribbean community primarily appreciate what you, Adam, Alan, EK, and all the other attorneys have done. And then you guys investing in this radio program on 93.5 FM. You didn't have to do so in a pandemic, and you did. And that is a huge step for any law firm. I did not see any law firm that did that throughout the pandemic, and I do appreciate it. And of course, the listeners and viewers appreciate the fact that you have done that. So once again, thank you for doing that and sharing so much information on this show.
It's been our pleasure. And again, those days in April, May, June, those were dark days. Besides immigration, it was the pandemic was spreading, people were dying, and and our administration was poo-pooing it and saying it's going to pass, when the warm weather gets here and all that nonsense. And and immigration, again, I'm not exaggerating. Every day brought some new bad news about how they were restricting immigration or making immigrants' lives more difficult or more painful. Those really were dark days, and we'll look back, hopefully, for many years to come, not just for the next 4 years, but hopefully that will be as bad as it ever gets for the immigrant population in this country. And again, all of our shows are recorded on Facebook. It would be interesting to go back to look at some of the shows we did last April, last May, and see, and I remember myself because I tell it like it is. I don't sugarcoat, anything.
Yeah.
That's true. I'm very deliberate, and I say it as it is. And I would come on Monday mornings and just spout gloom and doom, and you guys would say, and Adam would jump in and say, "Come on, it's not that bad. It's a beautiful sunny day out there today."
That's not what the show is all about. Okay, can we get back on track? Nobody wants to hear that. All right.
Don't everybody, go and commit suicide just yet. It's a beautiful day out there. But again, I would come on and just like, this guy did it again. He restricted immigration in another way. He found another crack in the system, to exploit. So these are certainly much brighter days and brighter days to come. There is a bill out there. It's been sent to a bill for immigration reform, comprehensive immigration reform, huge bill. It will dramatically alter the landscape of immigration in the United States, unlike anything we've seen at least since the 1980s. And hopefully it'll pass. It's just been sent to the Senate. And the prospects right now aren't looking good. There'll probably be a lot of changes. But again, many good things lie ahead.
Absolutely. And some of the best news is that, we can start, the phone calls obviously have been coming in. People have been, getting their consultations. But quite frankly, a lot of those consultations, and Alan and Conrad, correct me if I'm wrong, we would have to say the word no a lot just because of the limits that the administration had. We can start saying yes again. And I'm sure that feels very good, not only for the individuals that can change their status, but for the attorneys as well. We want to help you.
Think about how many calls. I'm sure we're going to get some questions about it now, but think about how many questions we've gotten over the past year. I applied for my brother 10 years ago, and I was just about to get him an interview, and then the president issued this ban. How long is it going to take for me to get my brother here? Now we can say, hey, that's over. Now the consulate's going to begin. Over. That's right. The consulate's can again begin processing those cases and giving out interviews for applicants like that. So now we can say, okay, well, sorry, we're going to have to wait until the ban is lifted and whether extended or not or what. But now it's going to happen. Now we're talking months. Not never. We're talking a couple of months.
Yeah, it's very important, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, as Jimmy Cliff would say, I can see clearly now.
There we go. That should be our new song. That should be the new theme song.
I can see clearly now that Trump is gone. All right. Anyway, let's get down to some business. All right. Listen, this is a long one, and then we're going to jump over quickly, hopefully, to Adam, giving a true success story. This one, I booked a flight since October to travel to New York along with my son for the Christmas holiday. When I got to the airport, I was told that they got a call from immigration in the States that I'm not supposed to travel and that I should visit the U.S. Embassy as soon as possible. I went to the U.S. Embassy and was told that they no longer allow persons to come in, but instead I would have to send an email to them. I sent an email. I got a message back from the Fraud Prevention Unit that states that my visa has been revoked and I'm not allowed entry into the U.S. There were no reasons given. I am 100% sure that I did not present any fraudulent documents when I applied for the visa. Could you tell me what could have caused this? My son is so locked off from the world because he really wanted to be with his family last Christmas. Please give me some answers if you can.
Okay, one possibility could be, and this frequently happens, it could be a poison pen letter that somebody back home who doesn't like you wrote a letter to the American consulate or wrote a letter to CBP saying this guy is a terrorist or he's selling drugs or whatever. So basically you need somebody to try to find out what's going on, to talk to the people at the consulate. They won't tell you, but they may tell us, PPID, or we can talk to CBP. So there are ways of trying to find out what happened, but then you're not going to be able to find out. You'll need a good lawyer to do it, and we'll be happy to try to help you with it if you get in touch with us.
They definitely need to get,
this person should definitely contact us, and we'll reach out to our contacts at the Post and find out what's going on. He could try and do it himself, but if he's interested in coming to the United States anytime soon, he would be well advised to give us a call so we can take care of that.
And that number is 844-PPID law. That's 844-774-3529. A firm that is built on immigration, now with a personal injury department. Make sure you reach out to the immigration attorneys at 844-PPID law. Well, let's jump over to Mr. Adam Handler, the case handler, real quick to see if he has any true success stories that you want to mention here on the show before the top of the hour.
Yes, my wife actually just texted me that our kids are going back to school now 5 days a week. So some good news there.
So there's celebration in the Handler household tonight.
Listen, Conrad, see what happens when you put out those positive vibes.
Positive vibes.
It's so rare. You're such a realist. When you put, what do they say, Squeeze? When you show love, you get love. I mean,
yes.
Next thing we know, we're gonna Alan's gonna scratch off a lottery ticket, and he's gonna win 50 grand. So Alan, you make sure you scratch that lottery ticket today. Feel the love. Now, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, before I get into this very, very quick true success story, those of you listening on 93.5 FM, thank you so very much. Please do your boy a favor. Go one step further. Check me out on my social media platforms. Follow me on Facebook and follow me on Instagram. Check out the Case Handler. You will see exactly what we've been talking about for all these years, how we've been helping individuals when their lives have been turned upside down. Don't take my word for it. Don't take Squeeze's word for it. Don't take the other DJs on this radio station that have endorsed me for almost 2 decades. Take the words of those who have come before you. And the only way you can take those words seriously is if you see with your own very eyes the magic that we're able to do, the exceptional legal work we're able to do when you become the victim of an accident. Very quickly, I'm so proud of my website. I'm so proud of my social media because it's just so many smiling faces. I mean, Squeeze, look at all these people that are just so thrilled.
I see it.
With the recoveries that they've received, millions and millions and millions of dollars. So we're not going to get into a specific story right now. I like to look at all this as a body of work at whole, and just see the wonderful smiling faces, life-changing money for life-changing injuries. We are the real deal. We are PPID. I am your case handler, the only personal injury attorney you and your family should be considering if, God forbid, disaster strikes. Don't be a victim twice. You only got one chance to get it right. And that's why we say one chance, one choice. I'm your case handler. Thank you so much for tuning in, 93.5 FM listeners. Check us out on Facebook, and then you can continue the program live streaming after top of the hour.
Absolutely. Once again, folks, the show is called Cruising with the Case Handler. It's brought to you by Pollack, Isaac, and Nasico, with offices in Brooklyn, Peekskill, and their main office being in New York City at 225 Broadway. On the 3rd floor, priors us through a guaranteed similar outcome. We will continue this show after 93.5 FM on Facebook. As Adam noted, his pages, the Case Handler, Pollack's pages, Pollack, Isaac, and Nasico's pages, PPID, and my page, David Squeeze Annakie. Do give us a ring at 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Have an amazing day.
It's 10 o'clock.
All right. So we will continue with a few more questions that we have here, gentlemen. All right. Here's another one. My spouse is a U.S. citizen living in Jamaica. My question is, we're planning to get married in Florida, but can he file for me even if he is living in Jamaica?
Sure. U.S. citizen can file for a spouse who is living in Jamaica or a spouse who's living in the United States. So absolutely, and the U.S.
regardless of where that U.S. citizen is living.
Regardless of where the U.S. citizen is living, U.S. citizen can file from Jamaica. The papers go to USCIS. We'll be happy to help with that if you want. But the answer is yes, you can file, and you should do it right away.
And absolutely reach out to the firm, in my opinion, 844-774-3529. Let the firm handle it. Don't muck it up. All right. Let's go to another question. My partner is an American citizen. He is 84 years old and divorced over 10 years. He still has business with his former wife, who lives in the house they built together. He is marooned in Jamaica due to COVID-19. We live together and he wants to travel to the United States and would like me to go with him. He lives in his own house in America. Where can we start? Should we get married? Are there any benefits to be lost from the previous marriage? And what timeline are we looking at?
I think you should get married as soon as possible and start the work going to get a green card. Why
Okay.
wait?
Yeah, but they're asking, will the previous marriage be an issue, considering they're still commingling with the previous wife?
As long as the previous marriage was terminated,
Yeah.
and so whoever got divorced before is free to marry, it's fine. I mean, it's just that sometimes they think that the previous divorce is not real, it's a phony, and they're still living together. But as long as this is straight up and up, divorce not a problem. Get married and file for a new immigrant visa.
Final question here. I have been involved with a band for close to 11 years, and we have a daughter who's 9. About 5 or 6 years ago, my boyfriend told me his mom started filing for it. His older daughter and our daughter, no one had a discussion with me or my family about this plan. No one asked my input on the matter. They all decided my future without telling me. I do not want my daughter to go to the United States to live with them. I would like to know how the system is set up. I want my daughter to travel to the United States with me for vacation only. I do not intend to live in the United States and definitely do not want her to move there permanently either. I would also like to know if she would still be able to get a visa when I decide not to send her away permanently. Seeing that the filing has gone into 6 years, will it be a problem for my daughter to get a non-immigrant visa? What will happen if plans change and my family would like to file for her? Will this be a problem as well? I do not want my daughter's chances to go on a vacation with me to be a challenge because I refuse to let her migrate. There's a lot more to the story, but this is my main concern. Man, these questions, you can tell these are like real, true Jamaicans, man. They just bring it all out to you guys, you know? All right, so you guys got that one. I know it's a pretty long-winded one. Pretty much she wants to have full control of her daughter, pretty much, in reference to the filings.
Yeah, but the one part of the question is for the child to come to the United States on a visitor's visa. And the fact that an immigrant visa petition has already been filed for the child might make it difficult for the consulate to give the child a visitor's visa. So this is a long and complicated case. Best for us to call us and for a consultation. But I'm saying the child may have difficulty. If the child never got a visitor's visa before, the consulate may be a little bit unhappy about issuing a visitor's visa to somebody who is an intending immigrant.
Okay. All right. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, cruising with the case handler, Adam Handler himself, the man of the moment when it comes to personal injury, the man who has flexed his big muscles.
Oh, please.
93.5.
You're just serving a layup for Conrad right now.
We call Adam a lot of things, but we don't call, one thing we don't call him is Mr. Muscles.
Right, that's true. That's true.
All right.
Oh my God.
I want to thank you, attorneys at PPID, for everything that you've been doing for our community. I made a commitment, to definitely have a show on this radio station and on this Facebook platform for the people that really needed it. There has been a huge void, and we've slowly but surely gotten back into the stream of things with making sure that people get consistent immigration updates and information and their questions being answered. And obviously, Adam Handler has noted he's been kicking asphalt and a lot of asses when it comes to personal injury, So we do appreciate what's happening here. And once again, gentlemen, thank you so much. Alan E.K., thank you so much for what's going on, man. You are not that 84-year-old man that wants to get married, is it? I do believe you're already married. Okay, good. I just want to make sure of that, I want to make sure of that. That's how much experience he's got, ladies and gentlemen. We're not joking when we say Alan's been doing this for a while, okay? He's got his links, he's got his connections. He's been doing this for a while. And Conrad, thanks again. Gentlemen, thank you all so much. Any final words from anyone before we conclude this day's show?
Just thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. And if you can't get the sense of that we're not only colleagues but we're friends, I hope that that's not lost. And you know, we do great legal work. We enjoy each other, and let's keep it going, guys.
Absolutely. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do give us a call at the firm. The number is 844-774-3529. Even if it's just to have a consultation in any capacity of law, reach out to the firm, speak with them first. Don't just jump off the deep end and hope that there's water in there. Come on, make the phone call, 844-774-3529. And even if there's water in there and there's a deep end, can you swim? Can you tread? Make sure you have the attorneys do that for you. 844-774-3529. Thank you all so much. Have yourself an amazing Throwback Thursday.